Hello, everyone. This is Renee, and I am with COVID Recovery Iowa. And today we're going to be talking about loss and grief during the pandemic, and specifically thinking about our teachers as they are dealing with some unprecedented times. So my name is Renee Schulte. I just want you to see here on as a glance, we have multiple sources available for you for resources that you can tap into. You can see that I'm the specialty coordinator. I work for workforce, essential, non-essential, and unemployed, and I'm really concerned about you. First things first, let's think about how are you doing? Not your family, not your friends, not your kids. I know there's a lot going on with school and all of those things, but you. We really care about you. How are you doing? And if I could challenge you right now, just take a really deep breath in and you're going to hold it and then you're going to let it out for as long as you can using your lips like a straw. So let me show you how it works. You're going to suck it in and then blow out. Let's do that one more time. Suck it in and blow it out. There's research that shows if you do that 6 times in a row, it really calms you down and lets you recenter, refocus in the minute that you are. So as you're refocusing, let's think about what is it going on in this time. So I, like you, am a teacher. I agreed to teach this fall, and I work at DMAC in the Des Moines area, and I was planning to teach face to face. Well, just like you, things did not work out that way, and I ended up completely online. I had never used the technology before. I had never had an online course before. I've never worked with students that way before. And so everything was brand new and really hard. I mean, just yesterday, I was in the middle of a class. We had stepped out, we used Blackboard. I stepped out of Blackboard to be able to watch a video. And when I came back, my entire system crashed. My email or my internet went out here at my house. And so I had to use a hotspot to get back into class. Luckily, I could pull that off and get back before all my students left. But that is the challenge that we're facing right now. And I know with you, it feels like this is so difficult and so impossible sometimes. And you're just wondering, why can't it be the way it used to be? But first off, I just want to say thank you. If you're a teacher right now and you're still teaching, thank you. Every parent realizes now more than ever how important what you do is, because we now are stuck with teaching maybe our own kids or helping our friends go through teaching their kids or whatever that is. And we're realizing just how important you were. And it's really sad we didn't know that all before, but we're just very grateful that you teach. So thank you for all that you do. So let's talk about how you're feeling and why things are different this year and this season. So think about the things we took for granted before in America, before the pandemic. Most of us, we just assumed when kids went to spring break, they'd go back to school back in the spring. We also just assumed that our churches would stay open. We'd be able to go out to eat dinner on the weekends. We'd be able to go to weddings, to funerals, any kind of family celebrations that we always have. And with the pandemic, all of that changed. Even sporting events went away. Your normal Friday night lights football, if you're in high school, that was in jeopardy this year. Professional sports went away. There was months without any sports on television. And if you're a sports fan like a lot of my family, that was a pretty big deal. That's not something they would think about. That's not something that they would ever dream would happen, where nobody was watching professional sports. But theaters went away, movies, plays, just everything. So anybody that had conferences on stages or out in public, all of it went away. And then we wonder why we feel like grief and loss. Well, changes in routines and rituals in a pandemic, that's what's happening. There's grief. We have lost things that were normal. And some of it's big, some of it's small. But many of you that are teaching, you've lost the way you've connected with your students. You've lost maybe the way that you reach out to parents. Maybe you've lost just your everyday connection at the water cooler with your coworkers or the break room or sharing the cookies or whatever it is. And so if you look at the slide right here, there's a lot of things in a pandemic that we lose. In addition to all the routines, you could lost your health. Maybe you're concerned about your own health or your family's health, going back and forth to school and being in public. Maybe you're concerned about relationships and friends you haven't been able to see. Again, all those celebrations that we've lost. Maybe you've lost a loved one in this time due to COVID or to any other issue, and maybe you weren't able to grieve in the normal way. Maybe you were limited to how many people could come to the graveside or how many people could attend the wedding that you were going to. All of these things are loss. And so, what I want to tell you today is if you feel different, if you feel stressed, if you feel foggy more than usual, there's a reason for that. And if we don't acknowledge this grief and this loss that's going on in our life, it's not going to play out well in our bodies. What that's going to look like in your bodies, it could be increased blood pressure. It could be increased appetite, weight gain. It could be increased pain, like inflammation in your joints. It could be increased sleepiness or lack of sleep. Maybe you're an insomniac now. There's a lot of things that come with this chronic stress in your body. So we first have to acknowledge the loss and be willing to say that, yes, I have lost things that are important to me. And because of that, it hurts. Now, what you do next is you flip that to gratitude. So think about the thing that we lost in this time. Just take a minute and stop and think. What's one thing that you're really sad that you lost right now? And maybe that's that connection with your kids and the hugs that you could give your kids in class. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're really sad about upcoming holidays and not being able to do what you normally do. All right, so really feel that for a second. Let that sit with you. Okay, now, at the same time, flip that to what are you thankful for right now? Have you not gotten sick in this season in light of all the challenges going on? Maybe your family's healthy. Maybe you're doing well. Maybe school is actually going okay. I actually have probably the same number of students dropped out this year as I would in a face-to-face class. Pretty surprised about that, actually, given that I just came into this not knowing really what I was doing, right? So what are you thankful for? And do you feel how your body starts to shift? You feel that hope that comes in when you start being thankful? So you probably have heard this before, but these are the stages of grief. We are in denial and isolation. I know for months we thought, and some people still do, COVID may not be real to them, or you don't think that this is going to change. And then maybe you figured out you got mad, you got angry. You're like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I want to go back to the way it was. And then maybe you're like bargaining, trying to say, if we could just do this, I will do X. And then maybe you got to the depression state. You're just like, this is just overwhelming. But hopefully through this stages of grief, you get to the place of acceptance, and getting to be able to accept the fact that we're in a pandemic is going to be really important to make sure that you do well moving forward. There's a few things to think about when you're thinking about accepting. We have to realize we have to accept what's new. Now, not everything that's come along our way is great. But you know what? If I can wear a mask and not get sick, I actually haven't had many colds. I haven't gotten the flu. And maybe, who knows, maybe that was helpful to that. Maybe the new is a good thing to add to my daily routine. Using the technology with my classroom, I've actually gotten pretty good at that. So I will probably use that more in the future, something I wouldn't have done in the past. There's opportunities right now all around us to do lots of things different, to be creative, to create new traditions. Think about not seeing people, but how do you see them differently? How do you still connect? Do you take gifts? Do you party in the driveway? Do you drive by for birthdays and baby showers? What do you do to do new? Now, it may not be something you want to keep forever, but maybe you're finding some cool new hobbies that you're doing during this time. Or maybe you found a new certification. I know for myself, did back to school and got a new certification during this season because I had a bunch of time. So what can you do that makes this new, that maybe you can take a glimmer of this into the future? So just remember, nothing lasts forever. We're not going to be in this space forever. Really, we're not. It's going to pass, and we're going to be able to move forward in a new way. So just be grateful for the pieces that you've got to learn now and what we can do, but also know that you're not crazy. There is a reason you're feeling sad, and let yourself grieve that. If you're needing more help and support, we are COVID Recovery Iowa, and we're here to help. We have websites and Facebook groups, we have hotlines you can call, and we're here to listen to you. It's anonymous and it's free. So if you need more help, you need more suggestions, you need ideas of how we can help you, please reach out. We would love to help.